This Mobile Geeks video is powered by ASUS.
Hey, I'm Roland with Mobile Geeks right here at Computex 2015, and one of the first devices that I'm filming today is the ASUS EeeBook E202. It's ASUS's new super low-end Windows 10 based and Braswell based laptop, basically. It's a follow-up or an addition. I don't know if it's going to follow up, but it's definitely close to the X205 TA, so that ominous 11.6-inch notebook that was very successful based on the Bay Trail SoCs, giving you up to 12 hours of runtime. This changes a bit with this one, although the design is pretty similar. We are switching to a Pentium N3700, which is a new Braswell SoC. It's a quad-core chip that runs at 1.6 gigahertz and goes up to 2.4 gigahertz on turbo boost. In this case, it's got 4 gigs of RAM, which is nice because that's definitely a nice addition or nice change compared to the X205, which always only had 2 gigs of RAM. There's 500 gigs of memory in here. There's probably going to be versions with SSDs and HDDs. In this case, this is the HDD-based model. We still have the same TN panel on here. In this case, it's 1366 by 768 screen resolution. The viewing angles are pretty good actually for a TN panel, as you can see. And if you look from the front, you'll see that it's pretty independent of. It doesn't have the same problems as many TN panels have that tend to tilt color-wise very, very quickly. We have a matte frame around the screen, although the screen itself is sadly not matte. Why ASUS always does that is a question that's left to be unanswered, because I think the manufacturers are just trying to cheat a bit on the customers by putting in these glossy panels to make the colors shine a bit more. But actually customers like that in most Western countries, at least in Germany, that's what it's like, and that's what we're told by the dealers. Other than that, we have, again, 4 gigs of RAM, 500 gigs of HDD storage in this case, and we are running Windows 10 Pro Insider Preview build 10074. There's Bluetooth 4.0 in here. There's gigabit Wi-Fi on this device, which is pretty nice. And you get a VGA camera on the front, which is kind of sad because, yeah, gigabit Wi-Fi and a VGA camera, so that's not so good for making your video calls. You have a 9-hour battery integrated right here, so I'm guessing this should be a pretty small battery. And the CPU will only use up to 6 watts, so it's definitely passively cooled. I can show you that on the back because there's definitely no cooling fins or anything to be seen, no outlets on the back of the device. And it does get a bit hot on the bottom, like over here on the left, but that should definitely be tolerable when you're using it on your lap. Putting the device down, you can see that the keyboard is definitely decently sized. It's got wide spaces between the keys. The key travel could be a bit higher, and it's also flexing quite a bit, at least in the middle right here. Shift keys are super huge on this device, so that should definitely not be a problem with special keys, for example, for Europe, where you have our special characters, for example. We have a huge trackpad that's definitely does feel pretty good actually, and yeah, that's pretty much it about this device. Let's just take a quick tour around it because there's a small surprise right here. For one, it's 21.4 millimeters thick. When you fold it closed, you have your PSU port back here. This is the micro HDMI out, and let me just get my camera to focus. Micro HDMI out, and there you are. That's your first USB Type-C connector here on this ASUS notebook, netbook, whatever you want to call it, and a micro USB, micro SD card reader right here. So no full-size SD card. That's kind of sad if you're using devices like I do, all those cameras and stuff. You probably have to get an adapter in this case. We have a bunch of LEDs on the front, so that's power, battery, and numlock right there. On the right side, you get your headset jack and a normal USB 2.0 port and a USB 3.0 in full size, in this case on the side. The whole thing weighs it at 1.2 kilograms, and again it's 21.4 millimeters thick. It does still feel a little flimsy, but this is still a pre-production device, so my guess would be that ASUS is definitely going to take care of those small quality issues on this definitely not production models right here on their booth at Computex. This will be releasing together with Windows 10 as soon as it comes out at the end of July, and my guess would be that this will be again a very, very nicely priced device that is probably going to cost you under $200. My hope would be it will be under $200, just like the ASUS EeeBook X205 TA was. I was along with Mobile Geeks checking out the EeeBook E202 at Computex 2015 right here. And if you like what we do on our channel, give us a thumbs up, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+, and we'll see you later.
This Mobile Geeks video is powered by ASUS.